Annie Klaff here in Aberdeen, Maryland with Griff O'Ferrall, the overall 32nd draft pick this year and Orioles 7th ranked prospect. Griff, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. So you're coming off of 3 seasons at UVA, and the transition from college ball to the pros is a big jump. So how can you evaluate your transition so far?
Yeah, I mean, this 4 weeks span that we've gotten to play in has definitely been a lot of learning. It's been really fun just to get back on the field and especially play at the professional level. But, there's been a lot of learning curves with it. Obviously, everyone at this level is super talented. So kind of playing at this level and, seeing a lot of really good stuff on the mound, seeing a lot of really good defense, just everything in every part of the game is just uptick a little bit. So kind of, learning, not getting too high or too low off of success or failure, just trying to learn for these last, now only 2 days left, but just to try to get ready for next year.
Yeah, so we'll start with on the mound. I guess statistically in the ACC, you were one of the hardest players, if not the hardest player to strike out. What's been the biggest adjustment for you coming up against pro pitchers?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to pick your battles with some of these pitchers. Their stuff is so elite that there are times when you have to swallow your pride. Like you said, like in college, like I took a lot of pride in, not striking out and, not swinging and missing. And then, you come here and these guys have really elite stuff. So you kind of have to pick your battles. Like you might have to swing and miss a little bit more to get the pitches that you want and stuff like that. So just like I said, like kind of just learning that and, learning that the games are just a little bit different, speeding up a little bit is probably the biggest thing.
So that transition has probably been made a little bit easier for you, knowing that you have your college roommate of 3 years in Ethan Anderson also getting drafted to the Orioles. Walk me through that when you discovered that Ethan was also going to the O's.
Yeah, so the night of the draft, so I had gotten picked and then kind of everyone had gone outside and we were hanging out and like cooking out, eating a bunch of food and stuff. And then I hear a bunch of screams from inside and I was like, that's weird. Like I got picked like an hour ago. Why are people screaming and stuff? And people, like a couple people run out, a couple of my teammates from UVA ran out and were like, oh my God, Ethan's going to the O's too. And so we just obviously like freaked out. And then I called Ethan and yeah, I think we called each other at like the same time. And so like the call didn't go through and we kept calling each other and he was like, dude, I can't believe it. And then all the jokes started that like we can't get away from each other and it's like, oh my God, we're roommates again. But we were very excited for sure.
So roommates again now, you said the 4th year. Baseball aside, what's it like living together?
Yeah, I mean, at this point we're really aware and respectful of each other's just space and like needs as roommates. We have very different schedules. He likes to wake up early and kind of do stuff, and I like to not do that. So like, we're kind of aware of how each other's routines, and we've spent so much time together that we know pretty much exactly what each other's going to do every day. So, just kind of learning that and just being respectful of each other. But we've gotten to be really good roommates.
Who's the messier roommate?
Me, for sure. Yeah, he keeps his side like super clean. And like in hotels, like it's like my mom would be pissed that I'm saying this, but like hotels, I kind of just like throw clothes in the corner, and he just not like that.
So we'll get back to baseball. Obviously, the Orioles got the 32nd draft pick because Gunnar Henderson was AL Rookie of the Year last season. Does that mean anything extra special to you that you were drafted at that pick, obviously with Gunnar being a shortstop and being in kind of these shoes at one point in time that you're in right now?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think for one, just the Orioles in general, growing up in Virginia, Orioles were the second closest team. And, my dad grew up an Orioles fan. So when he found out, I had told him like 30 seconds before the pick came out that it was the O's, and he just lost it. And, it was like kind of a full circle moment for him just because he grew up an O's fan and his dad was an O's fan. So that was cool for one, just it being the Orioles. But, obviously I've been watching Gunnar for a while now, and I'm a big fan of shortstops, obviously, and seeing what he's done the past couple of years has been really incredible. So yeah, I mean, kind of being a product of what he kind of created the pick that I got to come here with is definitely pretty surreal.
Has your dad and family come out to a lot of games here in Aberdeen so far?
Not here yet. They came to Delmarva. I don't know if they're going to make it in these last 2 days because they're both educators, and so the school year just started up. So
busy time. So back to baseball. You were known for not striking out almost ever, and then a very sharp adjustment to pro pitchers. At this point in time, with the season winding down, what have you taken away so far from this farm system and their hitting coaches and what they've worked on with you and their style?
Yeah, I've loved all the coaches I've met. Honestly, they all care so much, and that's super obvious right when you meet them. And I think that's just so awesome. Obviously, all the coaches I've had growing up have cared, but these guys will not rest until you feel ready to go, until you have talked everything that you want to talk about, which has been super awesome. I think, the biggest thing for me is just making adjustments. I think in college, sometimes, if you were a really good college player, you could get away with making adjustments from, week to week. At this level, you have to make adjustments from pitch to pitch, and that's just kind of how it is because these guys are so good, and if you don't make adjustments that quickly, they'll exploit you really easily. So that's kind of been what I've been focusing on these past few weeks is just, if something's giving me trouble, I can't wait multiple at-bats to make an adjustment. It's kind of okay, that happened. This next pitch, I need to make an adjustment, or they're going to take advantage. So
Orioles assistant GM Sig Mejdal said that one of the reasons that they really liked you right after they picked you was that you're a ball player. To you, what does that mean to hear that?
I think, for one, I just really enjoy playing the game, and I play really hard because it's just a really fun game for me. And the other, I think I just value winning over everything. That's kind of how I've always been. I just think, the most fun part of the sport is winning. And so I think that's kind of what that means in a sense. Obviously, you can kind of dive into what he means when he says that, but that's kind of how I take it.
Orioles infield prospect Griff O'Ferrall here in Aberdeen. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.